Hello.
Well, hello.
Oh, is he frozen again?
Is he frozen already?
Well,
Got you.
Oh, dude, technology. Yay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another extra.
Yes, extra. Read all about it.
Yeah. In fact, the extras are becoming quite regulars.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying them, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm getting this Spitfire done quicker, that's
Just
for sure.
can't get enough of this Spitfire.
Yeah, that's what it is. we just can't stop working on it.
Yeah. I hope everybody is well this morning in YouTube land.
Yes. Well, Jim's in. Apparently, he's been here all night.
Yeah, he never sleeps.
Yeah. He says, Achtung, Achtung, Spitfire.
Hock to a Spitfire.
You love that phrase, don't you?
Oh, dear.
So
it's just a bit of fun.
The three of us have a private discussion group on Facebook. And I said, whenever I've said to him recently, do you want to do the Spitfire today? They've gone, yeah, great. And then Gary's put the meme up of that woman doing hook to her. I was like, Gary.
My virgin ears, I didn't know what that was until...
yeah, but then your comment was, oh, that's the girl.
Yeah, which proves that I didn't actually Google it. So, and thereby sullying my already sullied internet history.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah. What was it? The yeah.
It's so exciting, Mike.
Certain type of party attended by a Tin Man.
Yeah, we'll move on.
On look for. So yeah, comments. Jim says, Achtung, Achtung, Spitfire. Good morning, all. Tiff says, morning, Jim. And Duke says, good day, you beautiful people. Hope you're all still bonza.
Good day, Duke.
Sure
Jim says, Duke Wellington, hello to you, Duke. How are things in Osland? He also says, good morning, Tiffany, A and
Modminsville.
He also says, good morning, late evening to our three gracious hosts. Good morning.
Good morning,
Duke
Jim.
Says, oh, sorry, Gary. Duke says, Jim, it's a bit grey today. I'm in Melbourne today. There's a War Game Expo here, and I'm going to catch up with a few friends. Nice. Steve says, good morning, guys. Good morning, Steve.
Morning,
how are you getting on with your tiger? Jim says, hello, Steve. Good morning, mate. And Duke says, thanks for accepting my friend request on Facebook today. You're more than welcome, mate. I wouldn't normally, but you're a decent guy. Tiff says, morning, Steve. Morning, Duke. Jim says, excellent. Have a good time, Duke.
Not me.
Duke says, John and Mikey, I've sent you friend requests too. Yes, I received it and I accepted it.
I've accepted mine as well.
Yeah.
Yours, I should say.
I'll be honest. It came through, obviously not as Duke, and I thought, who the hell's that? And then I happened to see a post that Duke had put up on somewhere else, and he said in brackets, otherwise known as, and put his real name up. And then I went, oh, that's who it is. So I went back and accepted.
Nice.
And Duke says, thanks, guys. You're welcome, dude.
No.
So, what have you been up to in the last 24 hours?
Well, what did I get up to yesterday? I slept in a new bed last night.
Ooh.
Got told off for taking up all the bed.
Well, you'll have to lose a bit of weight then, won't
you? That's about it, really. Not a lot.
I haven't done anything on the bench. I spent a couple of hours today walking the wasteland in Fallout 76, and yeah.
You want to play Days Gone, mate?
I know, but
it's the most underrated game ever made, and the most deserving of a sequel.
And a series.
Steve says,
Stephen.
my Tiger is coming along slowly, still working on the exhaust system. In other news, I just ordered a 3D printer. I may come to regret it. Yeah, I can't afford
Wow.
one. Can't afford one. Ain't got nowhere to put it.
Well, once you understand the importance of leveling the bed,
Yes. And cleaning the tank.
and cleaning the tank and doing it regularly, I'm talking about leveling the bed. It's not a one shot, once it's level, it's level.
Hmm.
I level it quite frequently just to make sure, and I don't get many fails.
Excellent. Jim says, Duke says, I went to Hans Hobby today and bought a Whippet. I think that a Tacoma?
A Tacom. It's a Tacom one. They had sold out of the Ming ones. Yeah.
Those days. Nice. The Tacomon's supposed to be really nice.
Well, I built it. I didn't enjoy it.
You built the Meng one, dude.
No, this one is a Tacom one.
Oh, is it?
I can prove it. I've got the instructions here. Mark IV hermaphrodite.
Oh.
And the inside of it has Tacom. So there. No, it goes together well. There's no real fit issues. I just didn't overly enjoy putting together the sponsons. I think the 6-pound gun was
Mark
annoying.
I've got the Mark 1 male with sponson cranes, and there's about 19 sprues to it.
With sponson cranes?
Yeah. They were bolted onto the top of the hull so that they could lift the sponsons out on the Mark 1.
I've not even seen a picture of that. That's something we can do after this show.
Yes.
It's
pretty cool. They put them on because when they were putting them on the trains, the sponsons stuck out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, I think, the Mark
later on that
Mark 5 that they made it you can put them in. So they had a crane to lift them off and then they put them on the trolley. Jim says, Steve, a 3D printer, good for you. I too am at work on my Tiger 1, focusing on the lower hull. Excellent. I almost sounded professional then. Steve says, it's auto leveling. Yes, but you still check it.
Yeah.
Auto's only good if it works. Jim says, Duke, I have heard the Tacom Crit is a good model.
It does go together well. As I said, I was frustrated by the construction of the 6-pound gun, but simple modelling skills, and well, I finish it. Anyone could.
Duke says, autocorrect again, Tacom.
Tacoma.
Well, this thing, because it's Australian, we don't necessarily know whether you got different modelling companies over there. So it could have been Tacoma Modelling Company.
Well, we're not that far in. No, but I was typing Hawk Tour on our chat earlier today, but it auto-corrected to Hawaii Tuna, and I thought that's very different.
So, what are you doing today on your Spitfires?
Sir, masking at the moment the front canopy. I'm only going to mask the front of the canopy because this bit is only temporary. I'm having the canopy open, and then I'm going to give it a coat of primer. And see what the state of play is with regards to seam lines and gaps and crap, and so expect a lot of swearing in about half an hour.
Cool. John?
I'm going to continue with the same, pretty much the same thing. So filling all the gaps that are evident with a mix of different substrates, let's say. I don't know why I went for the full-on techie word there, but yes, I'm just going to continue with that. Cool. And yourself, Mikey?
I'm going to make the barrels and stuff.
Oh.
And I'm going to stick them on before I prime it. So I can just do it all in one go.
All right. I'm going to walk away and grab a book. I'll be back in a mo.
Okay. Steve says, why has this Tiger 1 got what looks like an old starting handle on the back? Surely they didn't use them. Yes, they did. That's exactly how they started.
Did.
If you look on YouTube, there are videos starting the Tigers with the handle at the back.
The Tiger 1 was renowned for being
a pig.
A pig to engineering. Mechanically, it was wasn't good fun.
Jim says another modelling news. I installed the crew figures on the Achilles Mark 10 2C and 2C. The figures bring a whole new dimension and appearance to the vehicle. I imagine they do. Steve says, wow, I guess that took a lot of strength. Not as much as you'd think. Because at the end of the day, it's designed to be started with a starting handle. And the engines weren't huge. They weren't massive compression ratios. Because they were petrol, they weren't diesel. Were they diesel? Some of them must have been.
I don't think they were petrol.
The Tigers diesel? Yeah, they were, weren't they? I want to check that up now.
Hey, chat.
So that's
Wing leader Johnny Johnson.
Johnny Johnson. Tally ho! I'm curious as to whether he mentions beer in this one. Let's have a look.
Probably. He's an RAF officer.
Yeah, but this is his. No, it doesn't say this is his aircraft, does it? No.
Yeah, the Tiger was petrol, so it wouldn't have had a high compression on it. So it wouldn't have been massively difficult to turn it over with a starting handle.
No.
Nope, does not mention beer.
Does not mention beer.
Jim said most World War II German AFBs were started the same way. They were indeed, because it was more reliable than the early electric starters. Especially if it's frozen. Steve says, that's cool, Jim. Figures add so much, but I'd never attempt one. It would look like a 4-year-old did it. Most of mine do.
You want to see what mine look like? I actually did a Willys Jeep with a driver and gave it to Jake when he was much younger. Yeah. And after one day of having it, he gave it back to me and said, can I look after it for him? Because the eyes were scaring him.
Looking in two different directions at once.
I've still got it, and I will show you now.
This might be the highlight of my day.
Callum Denny's. Go on.
Jake, if you're watching, look away. I'll do it on the other camera because then I might be able to. Oh, sorry, zoom in. But Jake, if you're looking, or if you're watching, look away. Oh, gold! What am I doing?
Boom. You zooming in and moving it further away at the same time. Only you could do that. It's G.I. Stoner.
Oh, I'm just thinking, who's
my god!
Yeah,
who's the villain?
He hasn't even got a face.
That's the first figure I ever did.
Wow!
So there you go.
Like piss all in the snow.
But, that's a good kit.
The villain from Captain Scarlet.
Captain Black.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
That's a Tamiya kit. That's a good kit. That is.
Yeah, I've got the SAS Jeep.
Yeah, the one that you're supposed to do pink.
Huh? Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, the SAS also operated in Europe as well.
Yeah.
After Africa, the SAS also operated in Europe.
Yeah, I did mine green.
Yeah, that's what I was doing mine. Not having loads of pink vehicles. Columbus says,
Morning, Columbus.
Woohoo! Only 10 minutes late. Evening, gentlemen. Evening, Callum.
Hey, I was over an hour late yesterday, so don't worry about it.
Me and Callum have been having
noticed.
some very interesting discussions of late about ship models and things like that.
Oh,
And I was saying to the other day that British
a guy
ship
on
models in
YouTube.
the UK are actually pretty cheap because they're not that popular. But apparently they're quite dear over there.
Yeah, it's true. But I don't think it's popularity. I think here, at say Frontline Hobbies, they put on what I've heard called a Newcastle tax. Because we're not in Sydney or Melbourne, they put on the cost of what it would be to get it posted here before they sell it. But I'll continue to buy from them anyway.
Yeah. Jim says all German vehicles were petrol engines. See, we don't say gas.
By 1943, the Germans didn't have much petrol.
Yes. See, we don't say gas because gas is just a shortening of the brand name gasoline. And we didn't have gasoline in the UK. We just kept calling it petrol. We had things like Shell and things like that.
What's DERV then?
DERV?
Yeah, DERV. That was a fuel, DERV. Well, that's ruined it, isn't it? That's
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Mikey's gone.
He's thinking very hard. Look at him.
He's frozen.
Okay, so DERV fuel was from Crown Oil. It had 90% less CO2.
Ah, you see. You don't
It's
see that
used to
anymore.
power on-road vehicles. It stands for diesel engine road vehicle.
So it's diesel.
Yeah, so it's just an acronym for diesel.
Oh, right. You don't see it nowadays. You don't see the word DERV anymore, but
yeah. Jim said the Russians use diesels. Yes.
Yes.
Tiff says, hello, Columbus. You fine figure of a man. Jim says, good evening, Columbus. Duke says, I'm watching you guys while soaking in the bath. There's a picture in your mind's eye that you can't get out. Just don't drop the soap or your phone. Plastic Monkey says, morning all. Good morning, Plastic Monkey.
Morning.
Morning.
Jim says, Plastic Morning. Good morning, Paul.
Plastic Morning.
Plastic Morning. Good monkey, Paul.
Plastic Monkey. Yay. Brain's gone off again. Plastic Monkey says, morning, Jim.
You see.
G says, hi, Plastic Monkey.
It's my
Jim says, not bad, Gary. Everyone has a start. Glad you kept yours.
Oh, yeah. Eyes, I'm never.
Sorry, go
on. Eyes are never easy to do.
No. Plastic Monkey says, hi, Steve. Jim says, ironic. The Russians use German technology diesel for the motors and American technology for the T-34 suspension. Doesn't surprise me. Plastic Monkey says, DERV diesel. Yep.
Yeah, you see.
Plastic says, hi, Tip.
You used to see DERV a lot when I was growing up.
Yes, but you also saw horse and cart, but that doesn't mean anything either, does it? You hid behind it. Tiff says, hey, Plastic. And Gary Evans is in the house. He says, morning all, where's the better looking Marley?
I didn't invite him in today because there was a couple of comments, people saying they enjoyed his company and they want to make him a regular, so I voted him off the island without asking him. I've got to do what I can to keep the viewer numbers down.
Oh, dearie me.
The video's up a little bit to Gary's head.
Crikey.
Yeah, I'm always hiding. Heidi.
Update layouts.
Heidi. Oh.
There you go.
I'm
Okay,
seeing
and
a
if we
thing.
put that banner down, we should be in full view then. There you go. But,
Sorry about the noise. There we
so
are.
you should be.
I bought a
Gary,
new
can we see what you're working on?
caliper.
You want me to?
Do your techie bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Today, Matthew, I am working on a pot of Mr. Surfacer 1000. Now, I'm about to disappear over to the spray booth, so what I might do is I might tweak the camera over in that general direction.
Yeah,
We'll
it's a shame
see.
you haven't got a longer lead, really, isn't it?
I have, but I've got nothing to clamp the camera onto.
The shroud on the top of the spray booth.
Problem being, I'd get paint all over it because I'm not very good.
True. I mean, that you get paint all over it, nothing. You're not very good. You're better than I am.
I don't think I can reach over there, actually, to be honest.
Right.
Jim says, Gary stuff. Good morning, mate.
Yes.
And it says, morning, Gary.
Mr. Evans.
He says, talking of horse and cart, you don't see or hear rag and bone men anymore, do you?
No, we just get a big tatty white van come round with some bloke hollering some stupid bugle noise it is.
Oh, the cat detective van from the Ministry of Housing.
What?
Yes.
Gary Evans says, love you really, John.
Thank you.
And Jim says, Mike, your audio seems a bit up and down the last few minutes. That could be because I keep turning my head away from the microphone. Because if I have the microphone right in front of me, then it's on camera. When I'm on the top camera. What I'll do is... shouldn't have done that. Anyway.
Right, let's do a little testy poos. But you're not going to see much because there's my spray booth.
I don't want to see your testes.
Well, we can see his legs, though.
See testy poos. Yes, I have my shorts on. Brace yourself, Tiff.
G5 and G6.
You're not going to see much of this, but you can actually see what I'm doing. You see what I mean? Do you want me to mute if I put my spray booth on?
I don't know. We haven't heard it yet.
We don't know if we can hear it yet, do we?
It's on now.
Seems fine to me. Yeah, I can't really hear it.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone hold a airbrush like that before.
Yes, but I have. Don't forget, I have grip issues.
Yeah, losing your grip on reality.
That's why I have to have what my family calls special needs cutlery.
Jim says, where's Chalky? I don't know. Tiffany says he might be unwell, Jim. Either that or he's seeing one of the kids. Quite possibly. Who knows?
So, if people haven't played with this, what I'm doing is mixing standard super glue, Zappa Gap, with talcum powder, and yeah, probably explained a couple of episodes ago that the talc slows down the drying
Drying
process of the CA.
Well, do you know it's not actually a drying process? It's an evaporating process.
Yes, I did, because
Yeah.
it's what's the word?
It breaks down.
Agrophobic.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't. The way extra thin works is it doesn't, or styrene cement, it doesn't glue it together as such. What it does is it breaks down the molecular bonds between the molecules, and they merge together, and then the glue evaporates off it, and they reform the bonds again.
Oh, sounds bonza.
It's all very scientific. Duke says, a very nice comment. You guys have inspired me to finish a few models, starting with my Meng Mark V, and then the same Albatros that you did, Mikey. Excellent.
Oh, Albatross. So I had to.
I can't wait to see the results.
Oh yeah.
I've no doubt they'll be better than my Albatros.
I do like a good Albatross. Even a bad Albatross, I reckon they look fantastic.
Oh, I don't know. Oops.
Okay. Get in there.
I'm looking forward to doing a wings kit one day.
I don't know why I keep coming here. I just get offended every time. Jealous. Upset.
Jim says, thanks, Tiffany. I hope he's okay. And Tiffany says, me too, Jim. I'll give him a ring later. As I say to James, it's nice to see he's not dead. Jim says, Duke Wellington, excellent Duke. I'm getting the bug to buy and build a World War I tank. The Tamir Mark IV comes to mind. Yeah, I didn't. Have I got the Tamir Mark IV? I've got a Mark IV.
So yeah, our local Frontline Hobbies has. I saw the other day. It's Meng's. They've had a restock of different subject. A restock of all mini art. So they've got a shelf full of mini art kits. So I've got to get me one of them. But I just saw the Meng, the full interior kit of the Mark. I think it's Mark IV. Huge box, and it's quite reasonable. But from the outside, it looks exactly like the TACOM kit.
Do you know what? It's a beautiful kit. One of my friends did it.
Yeah.
You even get like the artillery, the shells and everything in it.
Oh.
He did a beautiful job, but the problem is the doors are only tiny, so doors are only small. So he did all that work, and you can't see any of it. Well, you can see little bits if you shine a torch in through an open door. That's about it.
There we go. So that's the restock they've had of mini art kits. It's quite a few.
Wow. That sends Steve into a cold sweat, wouldn't it, Steve?
Lee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Steve's nemesis, the mini art kit.
They have lots of aisles.
Yeah, it's nice to know we've inspired people, though.
Yeah, it is.
Duke says, I have a Wingnut Wings Albatros D5 that I bought before the price went stupid. Yeah. I can't remember what the one I've got was called. It's gone out of my head. It's on the shelf in the living room. On top of the bookcase, ready for when me and Steph do it. Wingnut kits. Steve says, Christ, no! Take them away, man.
Yeah.
Jim says, Duke, I bought the Wingnut Wings Fokker D7 a few years back. Paid a reasonable price, still unwrapped. Make a bit of money on that now. Oops, daisy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Callum says, Mikey, I think you built the D3 Albatross. I did. The Rodin one, 132 scale. Yeah.
Okay, that'll do for now.
Gary says, as in Posh Gary, he says, I've got a Wingnut Wings camel just waiting for a shipment of talent to arrive before I start it.
Does that make me council estate Gary then?
No, you're just Gary.
Oh, right.
Just
I wouldn't insult you by calling you Temu, Gary.
Yeah, does anybody else want to upset me by telling me they have a Wingnut Wings kit?
I don't have one.
And that's why I still like you, Gary.
World War One wasn't my bag, shall we say.
Steve says, haha, Gary. Duke says, it's a Mark V, John. I'm scratch building the interior walls and showing the gun and ammunition. It's worth doing them separately as the engine bench is awesome. Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Nice
It
engine.
does look like a nice kit.
Can't remember what the horsepower was in Mark V, but I know the Mark 1 and Mark 2, possibly Mark 4, had a Daimler engine in it, and they were 105. Well, I think the Mark 1 and Mark 2 were 105 horsepower,
Okay.
and then the Mark 4 was 100, boosted up to 120 horsepower, something like that. Something weird like that.
Mind if I get a book? Let's look it up.
Yes, feel free. Tiff says it's AliExpress, Gary.
Don't say it. She's back from walking the dog.
AliExpress. Has she appeared? We'll do that one day, and she'll just appear behind you, and you won't notice.
Yeah. Yes. I've got to buy her a wedding anniversary present this year because it's our 40th. So.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. It's our wedding anniversary next month as well.
So I'm just trying to think what model kit she'd like.
Oh, I don't know. A Victor, maybe.
Oh, I was thinking of getting her the entire V-Force in 1/144th scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd like
Ooh.
that.
Actually, that reminds me.
She'd appreciate that.
Nuno, Plastic Alchemist, on his Discord, he's starting a Victor group build.
Don't tell me things like that.
Huh.
He's looking for people who are interested in doing it.
I'm interested, but I haven't got a bloody Victor yet.
Tim says, Nigel of Nigel's modelling bench recently built his first Wingnut Wings kit, a Fokker Eindecker. He said it was more of a challenge than he thought it would be. Yes.
Yeah. Nigel's been quiet of late. I know he lost his dog, didn't he?
He did.
It was a shame. I think he was quite attached to
I've never been
Jax.
one of these people, as much as I love animals and stuff, I've never been one of these people that, yeah, okay, I might get upset at the actual time, but after that, I don't really dwell on things like that.
Mm.
You see, with cats, I think it's different. When we had the cat and the cat passed away, I mean, the cat hated me. It was well known. But I wasn't particularly upset about that at all because cats, you don't own a cat. They own you. They choose to live with you.
It's like when they leave stuff at the back door, it's because they think you can't feed yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. But like, perish the thought when the day comes that little Benj is no more. It'll be quite a sad day.
Mm.
There'll certainly be a couple of wailing women in the bloody Norris household.
Yeah. Duke says, get her a Wingnut Wings kit, Gary.
Yeah, but see, that's a good idea, but Wingnut Wings isn't really my bag.
Oh. Anyway. Lots of
Tiffany
info
says
here,
40th anniversary is Ruby, Gary.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. I remember my nan and granddad's Ruby anniversary.
Yeah. 40 years of wedded bliss.
You get less for murder. In fact, the serial killers would less. Bit of a sentence.
I'll say, the murder, they're out of been out by now.
So that's the barrels put together. I put the little cones on top.
colour match.
Right, let me just get technical.
Just for giggles.
I
So in
have.
the kit, you get a specific pair of barrels to make for the ones with the cones. Because these little like clip bars on the side. Clip bars on the side. And then you got the other barrels which don't have those bars on.
Yeah.
I wish this would stop refocusing all the time. Just focus once and that'll do. Thank you. Right.
I'm just doing bog standard barrels on mine because I think the pointy nose ones look silly.
Yeah, they don't look so beer-like anymore, do they?
No. But I know Mike is planning to do the nose cones on the barrels and the centerline tank as well, aren't you?
He's frozen again.
Has he gone again?
Yes, I
Pedal-
am.
Oh, there you are.
He's going to have to pedal that bike a little bit faster.
Yeah. In fact, it might be an idea if I switch my Wi-Fi off on my phone. Duke says you don't have to build it, Gary. You just have to own one.
Well, yeah, they are somewhat of an investment, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, think of all the fun you can have winding John up about it.
Bastards.
You know what? I've got a kit up there that I've had for years that isn't started. It's the Revel 132nd Westland Lynx Mark 8.
Oh,
I have never started it. It's completely pristine in the box. But if I go through my stash,
That's like most of my stash.
started.
Are you just a serial starter?
I'm starting to think I might be. See, I'm even starting.
The only things you seem to complete are the ones you work on with us.
no.
I've
seen him complete more than a few.
Can I just refer the right honourable gentleman
Honourable.
to the cabinet behind me?
Yes, it's full of memorabilia.
There's a Buccaneer, Tornado, a Gannet, Jet Provost, a Vampire, a Lancaster, Spitfire and Hurricane, B-26, Tornado F3, Thunderbolt, P40, which is the same one John built.
Yeah,
Shooter,
it is.
ME410, Hawk, Huey, Whippet, Hunter, another Spitfire, an A7 Corsair, a Harrier, various armour.
Oops. I still think you should write tour on the wings of the Hawk, or do a Hawk with the word tour.
I'll do another Hawk and I'll do tour underneath it.
Mm.
And then see if it goes viral on Facebook.
I'll get Kerry Ann to do me some stencils.
Yeah.
Because she's got Marion's cutting machine now. So I'll design them and get Kerry Ann to print them off.
Who knows? Your model could be a meme.
Yeah. Tour.
Callum says, we feed and love dogs and they think we are gods. We feed and love cats and they think they're gods. The bastard.
Yeah.
Jim says, from what I've been told, cats bring prey they have caught back to you as a sign of loyalty. It's their way of expressing love for their master. No. It's because they think you can't feed yourself. That's why they bring you food.
And if that were true, our wives and girlfriends would bring us model kits back, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Or boyfriends.
You compare your wife to a cat.
Well,
Can we just move on?
move on.
I know where John's mind's going with this.
I know where John's mind's going because he nearly went there on yesterday.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Oh, that was a close call.
John, you're a bad influence on me.
Oh, not wrong.
Right. Oh,
I was
well.
innocent until I started doing live streams with you.
You're right. Okay.
Don't be afraid of love.
How's it looking then?
Oh,
Well, it's not looking as bad.
No, I'm just smearing this stuff everywhere, but it's good. It's fine. Right.
I'm getting told off.
I was told off. I walked into the house. I was off headset, so I was singing. But all my children told me to stop singing. They were quicker than Mikey was. But yeah, they're watching something inside, so they didn't like me singing the theme for the Love Boat.
Duke says, "Squirrel, John, before you get into trouble."
Yeah.
Oh, he was so nearly in trouble yesterday.
Oh.
So John gets himself into trouble most days.
It wasn't me yesterday. It was Paul. Honest.
No, I've got a decision to make here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do I throw more? Do I throw more filler at this? If the dog will let me speak.
You're not going to miss it, are you?
If I put more, am I going to put more filler on this, or am I just going to go stuff it? Because that's what I've got. If you look at the wing,
The wing roots.
can you hear Marion having a go at the dog?
No.
No. Hang on.
He's going, "Mum, AliExpress. Mum, he's on AliExpress."
Yeah.
So I've got these seams still, but I don't think I'm going to get them much better. And also
honest, you're
underneath,
not really going to notice them when you got the camouflage on.
well, I did wonder that, and the underneath, I'm not worried about that because when I've painted the underneath, you won't see it anyway because it'd be sat like that. Yeah. So I think I'm going to make an executive decision all by my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to not waste filler on it.
I'll be back in a moment. I need to go and wash my hands.
Oh, has it happened again, John?
I've got white stuff. Back in a moment.
Oh, one of those days, was it?
John's old problems come back again. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it into paint.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to go into paint. Well, so I'll let that dry properly because it's only just the surface dry at the moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on the undercarriage and the propeller.
Yeah. The undercarriage. Oh, I think we can hear John's family in the background, so we'll just mute him.
No?
Oh, no.
It's not here.
It's probably Marion on the phone to her cousin.
Ah, could be. It's definitely feminine.
It's Marion. I'll just mute for a second.
Right. Duke says, "What album did the Love Boat come from, John?"
Not the white one. I think it was the big blue one.
Jim says, my cat was an indoor feline. He slept, ate, and loved me, and constantly found new hiding places in my flat. And he says, oh yeah, he also sat on by the window and sang along with the birds.
Blackbirds.
In Chicago, most likely. Do they have blackbirds in Chicago? Or is that just a British bird?
I don't know. Maybe it's an Act 2.
They have blue jays in America, don't they?
Canada, that isn't it?
No, they haven't. I don't know. I'm sure they have
I
in
suppose
America.
they do. I suppose they can cross the border, can't they?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lake's not that great.
Biden hasn't built a wall that tall, has he?
It wasn't, but it was the other one, isn't it?
That's
Kicking
why
the
I'm
Americans out.
Yeah, the Canadians are building one to keep the Americans out.
But they built it out of bacon.
And
Yeah.
moose antlers.
So, the plop.
Ziplop.
The plop. I think F is RF Sky RAF. I've got Sky RAF. I've also got RAF Sky somewhere.
Oh.
Jim says, I believe we have crows here. Noisy, wisecracking birds. Yes.
Yeah, we've got them.
A flock of crows is called a murder.
Yeah. Cool. Very one or two other things in this house, but I'm sure I've got RAF Sky.
I believe the only crows in Australia are in Tasmania. I've been told that all the other ones on the mainland are ravens. But there is a video.
I saw a
about
really weird bird a couple of years ago in my garden. It was a
Did you marry her?
blackbird. It looked like a blackbird with a robin's head.
Oh.
It was very strange.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't got RAF Sky.
How have you not got RF Sky when you're a plane person?
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, you weirdo.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
There it is. It's a Tamiya, not a
Nottage Hill.
real colours one. I have got it. I thought I had.
Duke says we have blackbirds in Oz. Right, little buggers with the Indian miner. They keep scratching all the leaves and mulch all over the footpath and driveway.
Yep. Indian miners have become a bit of a problem here.
Pigeons are a problem here.
Yeah. Jim says
Because
the Australian Revenue.
every month, the day after the window cleaner comes, the pigeons sit on the corner of our roof and deposit their excrement all over the bathroom window.
You're on. I think it was either last year or the year before. It was well creepier because the house opposite, every single morning, the whole roof of the house, there'd just be hundreds of crows just along the roof of the house.
Wow,
And then
that's a
all
movie.
of a sudden they'd all just fly down, land in the road, start picking stuff off the road, and then go back up to the roof and stay there. It was really creepy.
Yeah, I think it is. It would certainly creep me out. But then again, it doesn't take much to creep me out.
Jim says the Australian Raven says, nevermore, mate. Now, let's see if I've drilled these holes in the right place. Oh, perfect.
I don't know if that was sarcastic or not.
No, that's perfect.
No, I can't sing that.
Jim says, I call pigeons sky rats.
Yeah, they are rats with wings.
Columbus says, at least pigeons are a problem you can eat. That's true.
No.
Um,
And magpies. Magpies are getting too big for their
Ubiquitous.
boots nowadays.
you got a beef with the birds, have you?
Beef for the birds.
Yeah.
Delicious.
We have a little robin that lives in our garden. He's very friendly.
Yeah, we have ones that come into ours. Duke says we should have a stack of beef eaters in Australia for the amount of ravens we have.
Yeah.
Steve says seagulls are a nightmare here. I'm in Blackpool and about 2 minutes from the sea, and every night from 3 a.m. onwards, there's 20 plus seagulls in the backyard squawking very loud. I lose tons of sleep to them. Yeah, I remember going to Blackpool as a kid, and they drove me insane.
My brother and his partner had a bungalow along the coast, north of Blackpool, but south of Fleetwood. And she got a letter from the council because she was feeding the seagulls in her back garden.
I used to go out with a girl and her dad, because he lived on.
And her dad, you creepy.
Now that is weird.
They lived on in Abergele, just on the outskirts of Abergele in Penzance, so it's right next to the beach. And because he didn't like the fact that the birds kept landing on his roof, he'd go outside with the air rifle and shoot one of their legs off so they couldn't land.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And then he'd stand there laughing, and I thought, you evil bastard.
Wow. So did the daughter go off to commit any atrocities?
Can't say on here, but she ended up in the nick.
They're from Penzance, you say?
No,
Figures.
Penzance.
Oh,
Penzance
that's different.
is somewhere completely different.
Yeah, that's Cornwall. Yeah.
Penzance,
Yeah.
some of France.
That's where all the pirates are.
So I thought that must be what they were doing.
Duke says, Steve, earplugs or air rifle will fix that.
So if anybody wants a sausage,
Somebody say sausage.
Sausage. I'm doing a sausage sizzle with the Lions Club tomorrow at Heather Bray Bunnings. Come one, come all. $3 a sausage. Going to good cause.
I'll just book me flight now.
Right, there you
go. I got bacon and sausage rolls at church on Sunday.
Oh, and also getting back to Wingnut Wings and biplanes.
All that time they've tried to get Gary into church, and all they had to do is give him bacon butty.
Me and Jake are going for big boy breakfast.
So B&A Model World in Australia have 50% off the Meng Fokker DR1 triplane for 24 hours. But I'm not going to get it.
I could pick it up on the way to the barbecue. Your sausage sizzle.
It does sound right. But no, I just don't think I want it. Also, the Ferry Delta in 72nd scale is available today, but I don't know if I really want it, but I don't know if I will, because I think I want to do another Camel.
Well, I have got an urge to build a Victor.
Have you now?
Yeah. It's been niggling in the back of my head for several weeks now.
You're going to have to get a Victor, Mikey, and just, we could do like a year and a half of
teasing Gary.
Buddy build.
Duke says, oops, after Mikey's story, go with earplugs, Steve. And Duke also says, I have a few Meng triplanes. Want to do flying circus one day. Interesting.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be
Certainly
colourful.
colourful.
Actually, I've been
Lots of.
expecting you, Mr. Bond. No. Right. I've sort of cocked my build plan up this morning by priming everything. I've now got to wait.
You didn't think this through, did you, Gary?
No, I didn't. What I should have done was prime the prop and the undercarriage and the barrels and all that before we come on air, and then prime the Spitfire on air, and then I could have worked on the barrels and the props. But never mind. What shall I do instead?
Victor.
Don't keep saying Victor. You know what I'll do?
Go on AliExpress.
Shh.
Marion, he's on AliExpress.
I'm not, love. She's in the next room.
Yeah, but she should know us by now.
She's doing the weekly tablet distribution service.
Ah. So while she's distracted, you're going on AliExpress.
She said, "Yeah, I might overdose him."
I bet she's
So
starting.
I go on AliExpress. She might overdose me with the tablets, and then she might get some of the bed
or the life insurance.
I haven't got life insurance, mate. I can't get life insurance.
Duke says, unfortunately, the Meng triplanes have a few warping issues with top wing. Very frustrating.
Yeah, but the actual aircraft did too.
I'm sure a man of your caliber can sort that out, Duke.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. The Victor, he says, bringing it up again, is the first plane to have somebody fly backwards faster than the speed of sound. Who's facing backwards.
There you go.
So the guy sitting at the nav desk, when the plane in trials went through the speed of sound when they didn't mean to.
All the seats on the VC-10s on the RAF VC-10s used to face backwards.
Because built by British, wasn't it?
Supposed to be safer. No, and the civil VC-10s, it was the other way around. The RAF thought it was safer.
Yeah.
Well, don't really think spearing into the ground at 500 knots, which way you're facing is going to make much of a difference.
Yeah, we had an engineer at our SPO, System Program Office, that decided that Hercules seats were unsafe. So he was re-engineering them to face the other way and all that sort of stuff. And he brought in a ban of RAFies flying on them, and that lasted about an hour.
Steve says, question to any tank builders, do you A, glue all the tools, shovels, handles on the tank and then paint them after, or leave them off, paint them and glue them on at the end?
Well, I've done both methods, but I prefer to leave them off, paint them and glue them on at the end.
All right, you, John.
Well, wasn't the question to tank modelers?
Oh, you've built tanks.
You've built a tank.
Okay, right. So yeah, what I tend to do is put them on. What do I? What do I do? Let's have a look. What do I do with the?
You do what
so
you
yeah,
did
so with the Whippet, I put them on and then painted them all and went over it again in silver or whatever. But on other tanks, let's have a look. Oh no, yep. So there we go. That's proof. The Matilda has them on and they're all green, so I'll just paint them later. So yeah, I'll stick them on. And that's really just to get the retention brackets and everything the same color as the rest of the tank, and then I'll just paint in the wood later on. Because the wood can be, it doesn't have to be a particular color. It can be light or dark or anything in between. So yeah, so my answer is do whatever you like.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I think the majority of when you're building armor, you can throw everything on and then paint it, which is the big difference from doing armor to aircraft. But for me, it just makes more sense to. It's probably the way my mind works, which is a bit strange in the best of times. But it makes more sense to me to leave like the tools and that stuff off, and then paint them and put them on. It also doesn't help that I've got quite shaky hands, so to do that, what can be quite fine paintwork, I refer back to my previous attempt at doing eyes on a driver of a Willis Jeep. Yeah, now you see why I'd paint them and then put them on.
Yeah.
Good question.
Very good question. Frequency
Oh, come on.
In fact, it's an excellent question.
I might paint the barrels. Do you think I can get away with painting the barrels?
Well, if you primed it, you should.
I just want to make sure the primer's completely dry.
It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? You've got 2 spares.
Oh, that's true.
Chris Evans, he says, Civil VC10 seats face backwards too.
Did they really? I didn't realise that. It's horrible. I hated flying in the VC10.
It's probably because you weren't used to going more than 10 miles an hour.
Oh no, they were rockets.
Any more than 10 miles an hour, and they thought your skin was going to fly off or something back then.
It's not that old.
Still holds the record for the. Oh no, it doesn't now because a 747 beat it a couple of years ago. VC10 held the record for the fastest top speed
for a passenger jet.
Subsonic airliner. But then a couple of years ago, there was a strong jet stream coming back across the pond, and a British Airways 747 almost broke the sound barrier.
That must have been fun.
Spill the gin and tonic, don't you know?
Yes. Tish says, just going to make food. Gary, if you smell toast, it's just me.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
Yeah, we don't want you thinking you're on another stroke.
I get very twitchy around if I'm not making if I'm making toast, it's all right. If anybody else is making toast and I suddenly smell it, I do tend to get a bit twitchy.
Well, I think toast should be the national food of Australia.
Definitely. National food of the world, toast.
I've just dropped my beer barrel.
Oh, now you'll have to let it settle.
The problem is with it being very light and round, it bounces off quite well.
All right, I would like a wood brown, please.
Sure.
I've got lots of leather browns, black brown, red brown, NATO brown.
What about rot brown? Actually,
rot brown.
The other Gary would know how to pronounce that in German.
Rot brown. I've got some of that. It's very red.
Well, that's why.
You mean that, John?
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
It might do, mightn't it? Yeah, cask. Yeah. Well done, Mr. Marley.
Praise from Caesar.
Now, this is like in 2 weeks' time. I'll say, I was only joking.
Yeah, it actually looks crap.
It's not serious.
Now it's too late to do anything.
And I am going to brush paint them. So I'm going to brush paint AK real colours.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
See, I'm posh now. I can use my marker pens because it's got wood colour in it.
Yeah, but I'm going to wait till.
I'm all posh. What's really annoying is that I can't even find this barrel.
Do you know I painted Telford?
I can't speak too loudly. She's in the next room.
Is that because you don't want us to know you're going on AliExpress, Gary?
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
Shit. No. Damn it.
Oh no.
Bugger.
You okay?
Yep.
Right.
Just can't move to get up and find this bloody barrel.
God, I hate old age.
I know. This modelling is making me so excited. I'm starting to sweat here. I'm going to take my jumper off. Bear with.
Right, summer's coming back to Oz. We'll be singing the theme tune to Home and Away soon.
Please don't.
That's better. Now I'll start to freeze.
Right, Mr. Marley.
Hello.
This is the moment of truth.
All
Right,
right.
I've
So
got a feeling I know where it's gone. Can't get to it.
I'll do my barrels as well. Which ones will I do? G60.
If I can get up.
Are you stuck on the floor or something, Mikey?
No, I'm just trying to stand up on my seat, but it's not working very well.
Try to
As
stand
soon
on
as
your
I start
feet.
standing up, my back starts to go again. Damn it. No, I've dropped that beer
Yeah,
barrel on the
ladies
floor,
and
and
gentlemen.
I need to be able to get down on the floor to get to it, and I can't.
Can you
And
call
that,
Kaylee?
ladies and gentlemen, is why this is called Veterans.
I may have to get the Doris to come in and get it.
John, that was a bloody good call.
What? Calling Kaylee?
No, the colour for this.
One, two.
We'll have that man on again. You all right, Mikey?
Yeah, Kay's just going to have a look for this beer barrel for me.
Good. Don't make me come over there. Right. I believe.
For every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows.
She got it.
Yay.
Yay! Go Kaylee!
Right
Go Kaylee! Go Kaylee!
Yeah, it'd gone right under the corner of my desk, and I couldn't stand up to get down to kneel on the floor. So every time I put the weight on my back, it went again.
Oh no.
Which is annoying.
It probably doesn't look it on camera, but John, this colour is perfect for barrels.
Thanks. Yeah, because I won't paint mine red brown. What I'm going to do is I'll get some. So this is a tip I've picked up from Dave's Model Bench, who's from Melbourne. He's got a YouTube video about it. So what he was saying, to paint props and everything else. So he's got is basically just acrylic paint. So white, raw, sienna, yellow oxide, and if you like, a bit of burnt sienna. But basically a mix of all those, wait for it to dry, and then come back a bit later on with, instead of acrylic, you go over it with an oil, with it's a burnt umber.
Yeah.
And you could, with a stiff brush, you can stipple in wood grain and all that sort of stuff. So that's the approach I'm going to use, for better or worse. That's what I've used before on, say, the wood struts and stuff in parts of different camels and everything else. So that's the method I'm going to use.
Literally the door that's holding.
Okay.
But I'm also going to glue these barrels together. So I'm going to paint the middle, sort of fill in the seams and all that sort of stuff like that. But I'm thinking I might, because when they mount, I'm thinking I might drill a small hole and where they mount on the wing and stick a toothpick in it as a painting stick, if you like.
Yeah. I'm with you. Oh no, my barrel's fallen off.
Yeah, I knocked my barrel earlier and it's wobbly as all get out, so that's going to have to come off and re-glue. Well,
doing all right. Doing all right.
If you want that, I do. If you don't.
What is it?
hello,
CD
Mary.
DVD marker pen.
He has absolutely not been on AliExpress.
I haven't.
Jumped across to Temu.
No. They don't do enough modelling stuff on Temu.
Always checked.
Yeah, Marion gets a lot of her diamond painting and crafting stuff from Temu.
Well, good on her.
And of course, I never complain about the amount of stuff she gets on Temu.
Oh no, never. No.
Rubbish.
No.
Not a bit of paper.
Did Marion just say you're chatting shit?
No, she wanted to know if the box that was on top of another box that's got to have some beer kegs put in it was rubbish, and it was no, because that's the half-built
It definitely sounds like she said you're chatting shit, Gary.
Yeah, I could have sworn.
No, she's after some paper, and she thought the box for my SDFKZ treble 2 or whatever it is was rubbish. Not.
And you haven't offered to donate it to her cause.
I said there's paper in the printer. She just wants a bit of paper.
Hey, Mikey.
She wants a box.
She said paper.
Tiff says, I'm back.
Yeah. So I was about to say, did you want to take a break? I can read out the comments. I could try to put on a Welsh accent. I think it'll be terrible. But I can have a go.
Welsh. Oh, I have.
All right. Duke says, in an Australian accent, I've dropped so many things on the floor that I'm thinking of having a parachute bib so I don't have to get down on the floor. Fair enough. Makes a lot of sense.
Can I recommend something akin to one of these?
Oh.
Now, Mr. Childs of Models for Heroes happens to have ones you can purchase which are much more fancy than that, and they have a light on the end as well.
Oh, fancy. Steve says still waiting for my AK pen set to arrive. Yes.
Yeah, it'll take about a week.
I'd imagine there'd be a lot of people. They'd be sold out initially because.
Well, it also depends which option you went for with the delivery as well.
Well,
because Royal Mail, they tend to stick to the timetable. But it might be that Scale Model Shop haven't dispatched it yet.
maybe.
And even if they have dispatched it, the Royal Mail doesn't acknowledge that they got it
think-
until the day after.
I think Steve bought the full set like you did.
I think so.
He did, I believe. Duke says, that looks good, Gary, but I can't find them to grab them. Ooh,
Ah,
that's what she said.
yeah. That was one that jokingly my daughter bought me for my 60th birthday. One of the 60 gifts she bought me, including a pair of disposable pants. But Models Heroes do one which has got the prongs on it are akin to the ones you can use on computer repairs where the prongs sort of come out like that. They grasp like
Yeah,
yeah, they're like that, and there's a little light on the end. Mick Wilson's got one, and he swears by it.
yeah.
So if Malcolm's pumping any out at Telford, I shall probably pick one up this year.
I got tweezers
Should've-
with lights.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm not sure about tweezers with lights on.
Racist. I don't know. I had nothing else to say about it.
Did I clean my hairbrush out after priming? I don't think I did. Oh, yes, I did. Right, so my barrels are painted.
E24.
Yes, so Squarish is in.
Squarish.
He says, hi all. Hello, James. Good session of Goblin Quest last night, wasn't it?
Good afternoon, James.
Steve says the Royal Mail are useless. Their tracking is utterly pointless. I've noticed that a few times.
Well, your first 4 words sums it all up, really.
What? The Royal,
The Royal Mail
Mail
are useless.
That's 5 words.
The Royal Mail are useless. Correct.
The first 4 words with the Royal Mail are.
And I wondered how long it would take someone to spot that deliberate mistake I made. And well done, Mikey. You're on form today.
Tiff says the pens are sold out again.
Again. Bloody
Right.
hell.
Yeah, Steve bought them all up.
Maybe Scale Model Shop should order more in.
Yes. Steve says, did you get one, Tiffany? And Tiffany says, no, Steve, I won't be able to this month as I have Willow at the vet's for her spay and microchip.
Ooh.
Oh,
Sounds painful.
do it yourself.
Nice.
2 bricks.
Yeah.
Dances
she's
with
a female.
Aardvarks is in. Woohoo.
Good
Wondering,
afternoon.
he says, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Here is the news from the BBC.
Yeah, don't bring up them. Tiffany says, hey, Aardvarks. Steve says, Willow, that's a nice name. It is. It's also the name of a
It is.
tree. Dances with Aardvark says, hi, Tiff.
Barrels. You know what? I'm going to build up all the barrels just to see what looks better, whether they have the stupid sort of dingus on the front or not.
James says, the Goblin Quest last night was disappointingly successful. It was. So there's 3 of us playing, so we had 15 goblins, and we still had 8 left at the end of the game, which is almost unheard of for us. It's not supposed to work that way. Yeah, it's interesting.
What was your objective, your quest, as it were, for the goblins?
It's probably something I'd have to tell you offline, dude.
Okay.
Because it's very weird. Dances with Aardvarks says, been searching shops looking for scouring powders to use as a surface preparation for paint. Can't find it anywhere. Ajax, Can you not find that or something? Other brands are available, I'm sure. Or go to a car shop and get some Swarfiga. Or sugar soap. Sugar soap will work.
Sulfiga.
You can get sugar soap from Poundland and places.
I've been to Poundland. Did I mention that? In a place called Telford. I walked in there with a name like that. I thought it was a brothel, but it was just like a shop that
No,
sells
that's
little
Pound
liquor.
Town.
Oh,
It used to be a shop that sells everything was for £1. Not anymore. So how they can call themselves Poundland, I do not know.
I don't
The
know.
only decent thing you can buy in Poundland, and I shit you not, gentlemen, is this stuff.
This is laxatives. Oh, super glue.
Super glue.
I bought water out there. I think.
This stuff is brilliant.
Oh no, they do sell little. I don't know. I bought something or other, whatever it was.
I just go in there to get a snack or something. When I'm out.
Yeah, not when there's a perfectly good Greg's round the corner.
Yeah, I'm not overly fussed on pasties.
I think
It's usually when I'm out shopping and stuff, I just need a quick sandwich or something.
I've heard that Greg's are out of stock due to local events.
In other news, moving swiftly on. Which comments up next? Jim says, hello, Squarish, and dances. Oh, dear me. I do apologise. Dances says, nope.
Boring you, Mikey.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, John, but Dances with Aardvark says, nope, no Ajax, Vim, or Jiffy.
Oh,
My God.
Vim. God bloody hell, Vim. Jesus.
Vim.
Anyone
I got
know
that
any...
from the pound shop.
Right.
Okay.
You can't get it from pound shop or from like Motor World or a place like that. It's for cleaning surfaces, prepping them whilst you're prepping them for painting.
Yes. Yes, I've moved house a number of times. We had to clean the walls for the next tenants, which I don't think they do in the UK.
Depends how dirty the walls are. Jim says, anyone have any thoughts on how to make Hessian tape in 35th scale?
I'm just thinking that one through.
Masking tape with brown paint
Hessian
on?
tape is. What's Hessian tape?
Hessian tape. Like sacking.
Yeah, but what's it
Like
used
sandbag
for?
material.
Oh, for sandbags. Okay.
You make strips of it for camouflage material and stuff.
Right.
Just trying to think. Very good question.
Masking tape with
Well, I was thinking Tamiya tape and
you're not. And one thing, if you're not going to see the holes or anything.
yeah.
You
use that stuff.
Tell you what I did get yesterday.
That stuff that railway modelers use. That
is a vegetable bag from Lidl.
Oh.
But it's not far off the right size for camouflage netting.
Yeah.
And they're only like £2.
But I'm not sure Jim's got a Lidl in Chicago.
You get 2 small bags and a large one. So I've been using them to make camouflage netting. Tiffany says she's called Willow because the association with the goddess Hecate, goddess of the underworld. Okay. Duke says we have the dollar shop. Surprisingly, there's a stack of stuff that is over $1.
Yeah, I know.
Dancing with Aardvark says apparently it's great for prepping metal surfaces. Dan says has to be powder. Okay. What about talcum powder? Just rubbing that in, or something maybe a bit more coarse.
More abrasive.
Yeah.
Salt.
Salt. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think then. You got herbs that you can use, stuff like that. They're quite coarse.
Jim might know them as herbs.
Herbs. The herb warrior. I think what else you could use? Just sand. Just get a little bag of play sand or something. Or a cup of sand off the beach or something like that. Not that I condone taking sand from the beach, because you're not really supposed to do that. Dances Aardvark says strips of scrim and glue. Yeah. You can get fine grade scrim.
I was going to say, he wants it 1/35th scale, doesn't he? So
yeah. Jim says perhaps the thin foil used to seal yogurt containers. We'll give it a try. Yeah.
It's worth a try.
Jim says I buy cheesecloth for camouflage netting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen cheesecloth.
Yeah.
Stuart says bags onions come in for Hessian. Yeah.
Hi, Stuart.
He also says hi.
Hi, Stuart.
Hey, Stuart. Jim says, Stuart, thanks. I'll see what I can find in the produce section. Dances says something about the bleach in the abrasive activates the metal surface, from what I understand.
Right. Okay. As the actress was once heard to say, that's a hard one.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to use Forfiga when we worked in heavy engineering. Jim says we pronounce herbs sounds with the H.
As in herbs. Herbal essence.
Herbal essence.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tiff says, hey, Stuart. And Dancy says, hey, Stuart. We used to have our old company sergeant major who's called Stuart Farnsworth, but people used to call him Farnsworth. And he used to shout to people when people said it, there's no S in my bloody name. And we go, okay, Stuart. And walk off. And you just see him seething because he looked like Windsor Davis, like this big, stocky bloke with a big tash and everything. And you could just see him seething and getting redder. More and more people did it.
Right. So I failed to drill holes in the wings for the mount for the.
I did say do it before you put the wings together.
Barrels. I know,
because the
but
marks are inside it.
I've not.
Yes, unfortunately, I'd already got the wings together when you said that.
Yes, I've not built a Spitfire before. No, that's a lie. It's a dirty, stinking lie.
You built more Spitfires than two of us put together.
Oh, I don't know. Probably maybe 5.
He's built more Spitfires than Supermarine have.
Well, that's true. Yeah, there was a scandal that came up in Parliament in 1938 about that.
There you go. The barrels are on their cradles.
The horses are on the track.
Duke says, Windsor Davis would say herbal essence.
Herbal essence.
Artillery. Dances with Aardvark says, fun fact, I had hand plunging in and out of a tub of Swarfiga is standard sound effect for adult films.
Oh. So Swarfiga, is that like what we'd call Solvol? It's a heavy grit soap for getting oil in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so then Jim, what is the American go-to for industrial hand cleaning?
That was Dances with Aardvarks.
Yes, I know, but I'm asking Jim.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I wonder if he pronounces the H with it. Don't know.
Dances says, laugh out loud, Duke. Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
What's frequency? Kenneth. Get in there.
Lovely boy, lovely boy.
Right.
I liked him in Carry On England. That was good.
Well, it's the same character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only
Do you know
seen
he
one
was an
episode
avid
of.
bird watcher
Was
in
he?
real life? He was a twitcher.
I like that video he did for the RAF as well on
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Airfield
That is.
Safety.
Yeah, that's funny, and that's why people remembered it.
Yeah. They don't make stuff like that anymore, do they? The
No,
forces.
well, it's, not got to be politically correct, and
I remember doing Law of Armed Conflict every year. I had to do the Law of Armed Conflict lessons. And
yeah,
our sergeant major used to turn around and say, basically, if you want to go to sleep, you're fine. Sleep through the lesson. You'll still pass it as long as you remember. Don't do anything fun. If it sounds fun, don't do it.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. Dances says, lovely boy.
lovely boy.
And Jim says, can't recall the heavy duty soap we had at the last metal fabrication plant I worked at. Very liquid.
Oh, crap.
I say for a good time, Swarfiga and ball bearings.
Yeah. Knowing Jim's look, it's probably Imperial leather or something.
Imperial leather.
That manliest of soaps.
Ding dong.
I quite like it.
What's going on here? What's
What was
that?
the other one? One that old people used to have all the time.
Well, my grandparents used Imperial leather.
Oh, I know what you mean. The stuff that was. Oh yeah.
Carbolic soap.
Carbolic soap. Yeah.
I remember that. I remember Nan and Granddad because they did like a mild version of it by the 90s, didn't they?
Disgusting stuff. And that was supposed to bloody. Ugh. Disgusting stuff.
Do you know what?
Coal tar soap. That was another one.
Because I tan very easily.
Mhm.
Mine goes very olive and dark in the summer. When I was a kid and I used to stop at my nan and granddad's, obviously I'd be playing outside all day in the sun. And I very rarely...
Oh, I know you're lying now.
Right? So, when I was having a bath, my nan used to scrub me raw because she was adamant, because nobody else in the family tanned as much as I did. She was adamant that it was dirt, so she used to try and clean my tan off me.
Yeah, right.
Ah,
Nan.
bless her. Yeah. Bless her. She's lovely, me now. Jim says, there's a biodegradable cleaning fluid called Simple Green.
Uh-huh.
Dances says, Head and Shoulders is pretty effective hand cleaner. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's great for shower gel, great for cleaning your rings and stuff as well. Yeah, Dances says carbolic.
You what?
Your wedding ring and stuff.
Oh,
Oh, phew. Okay.
God almighty, Gary. You had to do it, didn't you? You had to go.
that's just what I heard.
Yeah. The fact that I was pointing at my wedding ring at the same time was irrelevant, was it?
I was head down. I had my head down. I was doing the undercarriage of Spitfire.
You were staring at your crotch whilst thinking about another bloke cleaning his ring.
Yeah.
No, I can honestly say I'm working on the
Duke says-
dangly bits of a Spitfire.
Duke says, "Get the soap and rope and just the rope instead of Vim." I bet you got soap on a rope, haven't you? I bet you got one of those brushes or sponges on a stick.
Who?
You.
No. I've got a sponge
Most
I
bald
use.
men have them.
I've got a scrunchy type sponge that I
Yeah.
use, but it's not on a stick.
Dances says, "Tastes awful. Had my mouth washed out with carbolic at junior school a few times."
Oh, yes.
I think
Wash your mouth out with soap.
either my mum or I think it was either my mum or my nan did it to me when I was a kid, but I think it was like with Imperial leather soap or something like that.
Mm.
Imperial leather is always to me. the
Stuart says,
smell-
"Hate."
Go on. I said Imperial leather
No, what were
to
you
me
saying?
is always the smell of my granddad.
Mm.
He must have used Imperial leather aftershave and cologne and everything. There you go. Sorry, I digress.
Stuart says, "Hated the old nan trick of licking a handkerchief and wiping sponges off kids' faces." Yeah, it's grim, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the world's most
least,
effective cleanser.
Yeah. That's the enzymes in the saliva, isn't it?
Mm.
Duke says, "How dirty does your..."
See, it's not just me.
No, we all thought it. Except for Mikey.
Yes, because I'm normal.
No.
I'm innocent.
All right.
I'm uncorrupted. Dancing with Hardback says, "Laugh out loud, Stuart. I remember that. Burst a can of green spray paint once, and my mum spit washed it away on the way to the wedding. My skin was red war. So your mum hocked to it on you.
Oh no!
She hocked to it on
He
your face.
says,
That's probably
He was
right.
uncorrupted.
Come on, let's drag this back to. Drag this.
To it, and then rub your face with a cloth.
A, it's my joke, and B, let's get back to some sort of.
Tell you what, my nan used to. You know, she was telling.
He's frozen again.
Yeah.
Oh,
She never believed in hitting us.
We seem to have lost contact with our Welsh correspondent. We'll see if we can get that sorted out, and we'll get back to him when we can.
I honestly think you guys
When
should
we're
concentrate
naughty.
on the big issues over there and, burn everything down and right in the streets for slow.
John,
John,
no, stop it.
See,
We told you
you're in
can't
denial.
speak about
Absolute denial.
Yes, but if you say stuff like that, people get arrested over here now.
Yeah, well, they're not going to come knocking on my door.
Actually, they're on about doing that, getting extradition orders and things.
God damn it!
Can only they can extradite you to the UK just in time for Telford.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry about that, audience, but those of you who are in the UK are well aware of why we're doing that. Those aren't in the UK.
Carry on.
You need to black out, you'll probably never know.
So what happened a few minutes ago is I cut off the sprue, the front windscreen, and put it up here on my little shelf unit. And I grabbed it, it dropped, and now I can't find it. And I was about to stick it on. I'm really good at losing stuff, but this one is actually sort of like clear. I don't know where it's gone.
You can get a degree in losing stuff.
Not wrong. Mind you, what I did find earlier today was the pedo probe that fell off the Lancaster when I did the
All right.
YouTube video, so I could stick that back on. Hooray.
Dancy says, "Oh my gosh." Steve says, "My Norman Collier impressions." I don't know
He's
who
gone
that is.
again.
Doing it again.
There's something definitely wrong with either your internet connection or your microphone, Mikey.
Found it. Hooray.
Can you see my camera moving? My hand moving?
You see your hand
Yes.
moving. It's your sound that we're having the issue with.
It's probably
No.
because, like I said, I've got the microphone off to the side, so it's off
No,
camera
it's,
shot.
it's
when
not.
it comes up.
You're becoming choppy, as in staccato and all that stuff. It's nothing. It's just the internet. It's not your camera or microphone or anything else.
Yeah. I mean, the lead wasn't quite in the back properly, so could have been that as well. I don't know. Yeah. Dancy says Norman Collier impression is good. I don't know who Norman Collier is.
No.
Oh, I
Dancy
do
says,
apologise for
Steve.
Mikey dances or whoever it was that said it.
Dancy says, "Snap, Steve." And Steve says, "Laugh out loud." Dancy says, "It's okay. We only have to mention breakdancing now to silence the Aussies."
I was waiting to see how long it took somebody to bring up that travesty, but
Now, I've been seeing something on social media.
yes.
Something about. I'm assuming this is what the conversation has moved on to. Is some? I'm assuming it's a woman
Mm-hmm.
in a green trackie,
Mm-hmm.
sort of randomly
Gyrating. Yes.
Yes. Is this? Can someone enlighten me as to what this is all about?
Sure
No.
can. Although you can be arrested in Australia for talking about it. But what happened was we had a Olympian by the name of Rachel Gunn, aka Ray Gunn, who entered in the Olympic breakdancing competition and got nil points, absolutely 0 points for her routine. And it's funny in that she's a professor and she's written papers and stuff about breakdancing and stuff like that, which is clearly how out of touch he is with reality. But it's also funny that people are carrying on about it because they pretend that Australians actually care about breakdancing. Nothing can be further from the truth.
I honestly, what shocks me more is that there is an Olympic breakdancing.
Yes, there was. It's not going to be in the next ones because,
I'm not surprised.
because of her performance. But yeah, there we go. I'm going to go for a closed canopy on mine. I'm going to stick mine on now. I'm going to actually start masking it up as we speak. But it fits. But
Tiff
not
says,
too-
"It was that bad. They removed the breakdancing in the next Olympics."
Well, they were just going to remove it anyway because it's not a sport. It's actually the OED describes it as a piece of shit. So it shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Duke says Angus Young did the same. Did some great breakdancing.
Did he? Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I did watch the performance and I felt that she did better than I could. But I've had spinal fusion and she hasn't. But I'd give it a damn good crack. But all you'd see is my damn good crack.
The only part of the Olympics I've seen is where Snoop Cat opened the breakdancing bit by banging a stick on the floor. They got a black
Right.
guy to stand there banging a stick on the floor.
Well,
What were they
hand him a
thinking?
hoagie. Yeah.
It's just been bizarre this year.
I haven't watched any of it, but his bag's the equestrian stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But they were deadly serious about it. It's like, Snoop Dogg's coming on to do the traditional banging of the banging the stick 3 times. They're like, traditional? It's bloody breakdance.
Honestly.
It's weird.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's not something I'd ever want to try and do. I've seen someone
Yeah,
do it.
I mean, it's funny because like the media, he was saying, "Oh, she's embarrassed us on the world stage." I'm just thinking, well, no, we've had other Australians do that. And yeah, but yeah, the whole thing was just. I think it's just a stupid sport
Um,
anyway.
at the end
It's
of
a
the
pastime.
day, no matter what it's about, don't you have to be selected? So
Well, she
someone
was.
must have selected her.
Yeah, because as I said,
So
no one in Australia breakdances anyway. So
with,
as I
with,
said,
yeah.
she wrote a doctrine, her doctrine on it. So she must know what she's talking about. So from what I understand, her moves are um, textbook good, but you know what it's like. If you study from a textbook, it's nothing like real life.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's moving on. As I said, like I can be arrested for dissing Ray Gunn, and she has put out a video to say, "Please stop talking about me." She did feel awful, and she couldn't be consoled in her room. And I'm just thinking, that's fine.
Wasn't she on one of the US chat shows the other night though?
I don't know. I
Don't know whether
I
it
wouldn't
was
have
Jimmy
tuned in.
Kimmel or
Oh, it was Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, they had a comedian taking the piss out of it, but her
oh, it
moves.
wasn't her.
No, but that's how close her performance was. It was pretty awful, I've got to say. But as I am no expert, I don't know what I'm looking at. But oh, yeah, like there were, I think, yeah, there, yeah, it's just, I think too much media focuses on that because we're not allowed to talk about the real issues like slow internet in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dancy says, laugh out loud, Olympian.
I know.
Columbus says, I knew she was doomed when she hopped out on stage like a kangaroo.
Yes,
Surprised there wasn't John behind her in a car trying to run her down.
I was, but they arrested me and
Threw
I
you
didn't
in the
make it to
River
the
Sen.
stage. Yeah.
Duke
Actually, they
says,
had, they tried to arrest me, but they had the people that were guarding Trump that day doing the security, and they missed that as well.
oh dear. Duke says, Angus used to play his guitar while on the floor and walking round. I did what?
Mm.
What?
Panda.
Yes.
Yes.
Dances with Aardvark says, I've seen them rush on an oxygen mask to Angus to keep him conscious.
He must be getting on a bit now. I mean, they all are, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
You look at the Rolling Stones. I'm amazed they're still going.
Yeah.
Dances with Aardvark says, possibly Monsters of Rock in the 80s. I was only born in 88, so I don't know. Jim says, the ridiculous pursuit to be all-inclusive to the point of insanity.
Well said, Jim.
Absolutely.
Duke says, her husband/coach is another great dancer. So there's two in Oz. Ha ha ha.
Wow.
Take that, John.
Yes. Well, I've been educated.
Jim said, what next? Hopscotch competition?
Oh.
Columbus says, Jim, I reckon air guitar next.
Scale modelling
Very
is going to
probably.
become an Olympic sport.
Well,
Wow.
they did used to have painting as an Olympic sport, didn't they?
What?
They did in the first
They did.
Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
They
is
also
like
had
saying-
they also
That's
had
like
moving. They also had moving deer shooting.
that's like saying Formula One's a sport.
Oh dear. I don't want beef with the Formula One people. Please don't bring it to the channel. Blame Gary, not me. Take it to his channel. And we've got 10 minutes left, guys.
Who can we offend now?
I'm just warming up.
Yeah, don't remember it's an offence to cause offence now.
Well,
Steve.
it seems to do Jeremy Clarkson all right.
Yeah. Steve says, Problem he's got a lot of money, so he can get away with it.
Mm.
Steve says, "Don't diss Formula One. I've loved it since 1970."
Well, I used to watch it religiously, right up to the early 2000s. And then,
I so misread this next comment.
I'm sorry, but I lost interest in it now. Olympic philately, the way it's headed.
Yeah, you see what I thought it said, right?
Says Mikey the Uncorrupted.
Yeah, the uncorruptible one.
Well, I wasn't like this before I started live streams with YouTube. Don't forget, you two are the older guys, so you're responsible adults. I'm not.
Yes. That's right. Like, to quote Eric Idle, you've slept with a lady.
What's it like?
What's it like?
Stuart says,
Ooh.
young Lando going to be world champ in Formula One soon. Ooh, Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, let's hope.
Lando Norris.
Because he did the Kessel run in 3 parsecs.
Yeah.
I hope he does, but
Steve says, I do agree this hybrid idea era is bad and needs to end. Yeah. Well, yeah, the hybrid's not great. Electric's even worse. Dances says, have a guess how much a hotel suite is at the Silverstone Hilton during the Formula One.
well out of my price range.
Yes.
I don't think I could afford to camp there.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to.
Hello,
Jim said, used to watch Formula One. Modern version is way too corporate. Yeah. I
And
think
it's-
once they started regulating it because to
Yeah.
try and stop Michael Schumacher winning every race, it
Yeah.
just went rubbish, didn't it?
And I think to the uninitiated, i.e. me, it's a bit like wrestling. To me, it's just fixed now.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. But then again, I love any motorsport that's not Australian supercars. In inverted
I used to
commas.
like watching the superbikes, but only for the crashes.
Marion, when I used to watch it every weekend when it was on, Marion
Yeah.
would watch the start because she watched
Yeah.
the start of
Superbike.
she sat with me watching the start of the Nuremberg Grand Prix in the pouring rain where there was mass carnage, mostly caused by David Coulthard.
Yeah.
And she said, right, from now on, I'm going to watch the starts. And after the first lap, that was it. She was done.
Well, I used to love watching the superbikes. Go around, one of them go around the bend, lose traction. They just like step up off the bike as the bike carries on sliding and takes out half the race. And they're just walking off the track.
And that's how Australians win at the Winter Olympics.
Stuart says dances too much. Yes. And Duke says, I think that we should go back to the only amateurs in the Olympics, get rid of tennis, golf, surfing, skateboarding. Yes.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
what it was originally designed for, wasn't it? It was supposed to be amateur athletes,
Yeah.
not professional athletes that do that day in, day out.
Yeah, but all that would happen then, because it's also corporate, is all the professionals would quit for those 2 weeks and then, I'm a professional again.
I mean, I used to play golf until I couldn't anymore, and I love golf. I love watching golf, but it's not an Olympic sport. It's a walk around in the countryside.
Yeah.
Yes.
But walking around, which is still good for you.
185,000 a day.
Yeah.
I take it you get hot and cold running maids with that.
Knowing your luck, they'd all be cold running. It'd be old Auntie Doris from down the road.
Flying Dutchman's in.
Hello, Flying Dutchman. Dutch
Cuts
Dave.
left one, go E1. It's the sound, though, isn't it?
What sound?
Exactly.
Can you imagine
I'm
watching?
quite worried because we're due to replace our mobility car.
Yeah.
In next year, And last time we replaced it, they were heavily pushing us towards electric cars.
Right.
We don't want an electric car, but this time I think we're going to have trouble getting one that's not an electric car.
Vauxhall got plenty that aren't electric.
So they're not on
You can get
sale in
Grand
Australia
Land or
anymore.
something.
We'll see. We can start looking in
The
January.
Grand Land, it's lush and it's very comfy.
Be too big for Marion.
Yeah.
Grand
It's got
Land.
cameras
I
on it
think
and
that's the
everything.
thing I hired in the UK. I think it is.
Tiff says, "Hey Dutchman." Dutch Dave says, "Hello all." Hello, Dave.
Hello, welcome.
Dances says, "Hi, Dave." Stu says, "It's actually cheaper to travel abroad for accommodation tickets and travel cheap than go to Silverstone."
Oh.
It is.
Wow.
You could buy most houses in this country for that amount. Jim says, "Love the traditional courses they race: Monte Carlo, Silverstone, and Nürburgring." Traditional courses.
Oh, Belgian
Steve
Grand
says,
Prix is my favourite.
Steve says, "Monaco is deathly boring. I love places like Monza, Interlagos, Montreal, and
I think it's all good. I mean, I'll watch it, but
Monaco's interesting when it's raining there.
yeah.
Right.
Dum.
Well, I haven't done much today.
Oh, I've done some.
Yeah. I'm watching 24-hour Le Mans once, and the cars were going over this rise, and one of them hit a slight bump, and because they're completely flat underneath, the front end just lifted up slowly, and it just kept going up and up and up, and eventually it just went up and landed in trees next to the track.
Yep.
Because it's just like a
Seen that
giant
one.
sail.
Yep.
That was interesting to watch.
There was a Mercedes. That was an Australian driver. Can't remember his name. Oh well.
Tiff says, "Go on."
I was going to say, like, to my mind, Le Mans is, the world's premier race. I think it's one of the first ones, and it does everything for me. But it's just that style of racing. Oh, yeah, it's just I love it. But there was a race in Australia where a car that wasn't a Ford or a Holden won, and the crowd wanted to lynch the winner because it was a Japanese car. And racing in Australia has not been the same since. It's been terrible.
Tiff says, "Make them drive a Tesla. You can program those to make noises."
Yeah.
Duke says, "Flying Dutchman, how about E3? Ha 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 ha." Dutchman says, "Hi, dancers." Jim says, "Steve, Spa is great track. Formula One sometimes races at the Indy 500 track and Watkins Glen in New York State." Steve says, "I love most motorsport apart from Formula E." Steve says, "Love the Indy 500.
Yeah, it is great.
Jim says, "I make noises every time I eat beans." Callum says, "The only motorsport I can watch is sprint cars and stock cars on a dirt oval. You get some great crashes, plus you can see the whole race, not just the pack whizzing by every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Steve says, "I hate crashes. Seen too many drivers deleted in my time, so I cringe when they happen." Yeah, one of Kay's relatives, I think is one of her uncles or something like that, was lost his life on doing the TT
Oh, right.
race. So yeah, that's why part of the reason why I had to give up riding motorbikes when I got married. There's one of the conditions. Stuart says, "Mark Webber from Aussie drank from Shoe, then jumped in lake at Monaco."
That's right. Yeah, it's Mark Webber.
Duke says, "Do you remember when the goodies entered Le Mans?"
No. I'll have to look that up.
Dutchman says, "Fokker E3." And Jim says, have another great show, mates. Have a great weekend all. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Jim.
So,
Cheers, Jim.
without further ado, what have you guys managed to achieve this session?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, Mikey. I have primed the Spitfire.
Yeah.
I have,
the Hawk
and
Tour.
the Hawk Tour Spitfire. I've painted the wheel wells.
Yeah. What colour did you paint the wheel wells?
I did them sky.
Okay.
I've done the barrels.
Cool.
I've done the other one. I've also painted
Do you know what they look like in that colour? The barrels. They look like the Donkey Kong barrels.
Yeah. And I've also primed and masked up the prop, so I can do the sky bit, and then I'll mask the centerpiece and spray the blades.
Cool.
And that's it. That's what I've done today.
Cool. Before we go on to John,
Extra special show.
before we go on to John, Dances says, wasn't joking about Fockers, the thing that got Norman Collier banned from TV. Quite possible.
Wasn't that? Yeah.
Duke says, happy birthday for tomorrow, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
for tomorrow,
birthday, Jim.
Yeah. Enjoy your ride.
Yeah. Dances says, later, Jim. Steve said that was Stan Boardman, Dances with Advax. I have no idea.
That was the Messerschmitt, yeah. And Stan Borman was also famous for talking about how in the British World War the enemy bombed our chip shops.
Dances. Stuart says, oh, that was the Fokker, that was the Messerschmitt, yeah. Dances says, so it was Steve. Got them mixed up. And Dances says, laughing my ass off. Tiff says, happy birthday for tomorrow, Jim. Steve says, great stream, guys. Thank you all.
Pleasure.
Jim says, Duke Wellington. Thank you, Duke. Steve says, happy birthday for tomorrow, Jim. And Jim says, thank you, Tiff, and thank you, Steve. You're welcome. Both of them, I imagine. Happy birthday to Jim. We would sing, but we're not going to because it's scary as hell. Stuart says, thank you, guys. So, John, what have you achieved or not achieved?
Right. So, what I've done is with different sort of mainly as the plastic putty from Vallejo. It's all the little seams, but the big ones around there, you can see that I had used a mixture of super glue and talcum powder, and that's sort of filled the gap, and that should come out all right. I've put on the mounts, the two mounts for the beer barrels, and assembled the barrels, all four of them. So two of them, I haven't decided which ones to use. I might use, I don't know. We'll see how they turn out, but I've got an option there. And I'm in the process of masking and cutting, cutting masks for the canopies. And I've just literally Tamiya tape, buffing down the edges with cocktail stick. I can't remember what we call them here. A toothpick, a bloody toothpick. And then just sort of like slicing it with a new blade, blah blah blah, and that's what's happening there. So I'm going to have a closed canopy, and that's coming together. So it's pretty much ready for priming. Once that is glued on, and then I'll paint that interior green, and then I could paint over the whole thing with reckless abandon. So cool. I'm pretty much at primer stage. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's me.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mikey?
Me? I've done. Let's just switch up. There you go. I've done little beer barrels on the cradles.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
There you go. Focus. There you go. So put them on the cradles. and then I put the fuel tank underneath the plane.
Nice.
Ah, how's it fitted that? Good?
Yeah, it's not bad, but I had to drill the holes deeper because it wouldn't. It was just sitting on the pegs. It wasn't actually slotting onto them.
Makes sense, sure.
So it's a little bit more secure now.
Hmm.
You know, that's just pressed on, and it's not coming off.
Yeah, right.
So I haven't glued it on yet because I'm going to paint it. Last comments. Jim says, "Thank you, Stuart." You're welcome, Jim. We're hinting. We all wish you happy birthday. Dancy says, "Thanks for the fun. See you later." No problem, mate. See you all soon. Flying Dutchman says, "Happy birthday tomorrow, Jim. It's mine today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Dave."
birthday, Dutchman.
Happy birthday, Dutchman.
Yes. Tiff says, "Happy birthday today, Dutchman." Dutch says, "Thanks, Tiff." And Jim says, "Happy birthday, Dutch." And Dutchman says, "Thanks, Jim." Excellent.
And
We've
we're
done well
2 hours
today.
closer to finishing this challenging build.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thanks for everyone's company.
Going into paint next week.
Well, I'm going to prime mine this week.
Same. I'll prime it off air so it has a chance to dry. Oh, he's gone quiet.
Mike.
Oh, he's frozen
No
again.
sound from Mikey now, and he's frozen. And he's finishing just as he started.
Yeah. He should be outside burning cars. That's just saying.
You're going to get us into trouble.
You're already in trouble. You got slow internet.
I think he's gone.
The Flying Dutchman, I'll just read this comment, says, "Nice show, gents." Oh, he's back.
I heard what you said then, John. John, seriously, if the police are checking social media and YouTube videos for people saying stuff like that so they can arrest them, please don't say stuff like that, dude.
All right.
Because you can get me and Gary arrested.
Won't get me arrested.
All right, I'll stop.
Yeah. I don't know what I was going to say.
Wow.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so it's been a good show.
Cool.
Oh, that was what we were saying. Yeah, prime it offline. I don't know whether I'm going to mask it up for doing the camouflage or not, offline or not.
Yeah.
Possibly.
All right.
All right.
Farewell.
Let's go. I've got to take a doggy to the vet.
Yes. Right. See you all again on Monday.
Yes.
Monday.
Take it
Yeah,
easy.
2 o'clock.
Have a good one, people.
Have a good one, everyone.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Bye.